What is the worst relationship advice you've ever heard or received?
Find someone who loves you more than you love them.
Listen closely, because most men will hear this truth when it's already too late. You are walking into relationships completely backwards, and it's costing you everything. You're giving away your power before you even sit down at the table. Here's what nobody's telling you. In every relationship, there's a power dynamic, and right now, you're losing before the game even starts. You've been programmed to believe that chasing equals caring, that proving your worth equals love.
The really emotionally connected woman who's super loyal and super loving, she can't be with a man who's super busy.
That bending over backwards equals being a good partner. But here's the reality check that's going to hurt. She needs you more than you need her. I know that statement just triggered half of you. Your mind is already rushing to defend ideas that society drilled into your head. But stay with me, because understanding this shift will change everything about how you approach relationships. Think about it logically. When you're calm, focused, building your empire, investing in your health, your finances, your purpose, who's really more in demand? You, the stable man with his life together, or her, hoping to find exactly that kind of man? The confident, emotionally controlled, purposeful man is rare. She knows it. She craves it, whether she admits it or not. But here's what happened to modern men. You've been disarmed. Told that masculine leadership is toxic, that having standards is oppressive, that you should feel grateful just to get her attention. So now you walk into relationships hoping to be chosen.
One day you're going to realize that the same person didn't come around twice in a lifetime. And by then, they might be gone.
Instead of doing the choosing yourself. You've become a performer instead of a leader, a servant instead of a king. And the moment you start acting like she's doing you a favor by being with you, you lose her attraction completely. Women want to admire their man. They want to feel his presence without him constantly talking. They want his confidence without the bragging. They want his protection without aggression. But when you position yourself as the emotional beggar, constantly seeking her approval, you fail every single one of those needs. Here's the cold truth that stings. If you don't value yourself, she won't value you either. Women test not because they're evil, but because they're wired to find strength and stability.
When you're the one doing all the chasing, she's got the power because she knows you need her more than she needs you. And that's no way to start a relationship.
When you're emotionally shaky, constantly trying to please her, sacrificing your standards to keep peace, you fail every test she gives you. But when you stay grounded in who you are, when you make it clear that you choose her but don't need her, everything flips. That's when she starts chasing you. Stop chasing and start choosing. This is where most men destroy themselves. They think chasing is romantic, but chasing is not masculine. Choosing is. When you chase, you're communicating one message loud and clear. You're more valuable than me. I need you to validate my worth. That energy might look romantic in movies, but in real life, it kills attraction instantly. You're positioning yourself as someone hoping to be picked instead of someone who does the picking. Women feel this desperate energy immediately. They might enjoy the attention temporarily, but they lose interest just as fast. Choosing is different. It's grounded confidence. It's the ability to see beauty, appreciate it, but not be controlled by it. A man who chooses is evaluating, not chasing. He's asking himself, does this woman align with my values? My mission? My peace? Picture this. Two men at a party. The first sees a beautiful woman and immediately starts trying to impress her.
You gave love. They gave excuses. Straight up.
Buying drinks, laughing at every joke, giving her all his attention in 5 minutes. She smiles politely, but she's already bored. The second man notices her but doesn't rush over. He's social, calm, enjoys himself. When they finally talk, he doesn't flatter her. He asks bold questions, holds eye contact, maintains his frame. She's intrigued not because he tried harder, but because he tried less. The first guy made her his mission. The second guy made her a possible addition to a mission that already existed. That's the difference between chasing and choosing. Attention is not love. Too many men confuse a little interest with deep emotional investment. She replies to texts, laughs at jokes, even flirts, and suddenly you're convinced she's the one. But attention costs nothing. For some women, it's just habit, not commitment. Some women give attention just to keep you around, not because they want you, but because they like that you want them. That's not love. That's ego maintenance. If you can't recognize this early, you'll pour time, energy, and emotion into someone giving you crumbs while keeping her options open. Pay attention to consistency, not intensity. Some women come on strong early with texts, calls, compliments, even intimacy, but disappear the moment you stop chasing. That wasn't love. That was testing how much they could extract from you. A woman who loves you shows up consistently, even after excitement fades. She's steady, not just sweet. She cares when things aren't fun. She listens, gives, and grows with you. Power shifts when you beg. The moment you start begging for her attention, time, or love, you lose something crucial: your power. When you beg, you surrender your emotional frame. You communicate that she has something you can't live without, which kills your value instantly.
It is said that a woman's loyalty is tested when her man has nothing, and a man's loyalty is tested when his woman gives him everything.
When she sees you're willing to beg, she knows she has control. She doesn't have to earn your time or invest emotionally because no matter how she acts, you'll still be there. You become the emotional beggar while she becomes the chooser. But here's what you need to remember. You were valuable before she came. You'll still be valuable if she leaves. Your worth was never supposed to depend on her response. Emotional control creates attraction. Too many men have become emotionally weak. Not because they don't have feelings, but because they let feelings control them. A man who cannot control his emotions will always lose in love and life. Women aren't drawn to men who cry at every setback, rage at every disagreement, or panic at every moment of uncertainty. They're drawn to men who can feel without falling apart. Men who hold their center when things feel chaotic. When you overreact to everything, one unread text sends you spiraling. One cold response has you begging for validation. One disagreement turns you into a teenager. This isn't strength, it's emotional immaturity, and women feel it instantly. She tests you to find a leader. When a woman challenges you, gets moody, questions your decisions, or pulls back her energy, most men take it personally and react emotionally. But here's what you need to understand. She's not testing you to hurt you. She's testing you to find a leader. Women don't consciously plan these tests. It's instinctual. She needs to know you're strong enough to lead, not just her. but yourself. When she pulls back or challenges your opinion, she's asking, "Can I trust this man's direction?" The moment you become reactive or try to please your way through tension, you fail that test. You show her she can control you, that you don't lead but follow her moods. Instead of panicking when challenged, stand firm. Show her your frame is strong, that your values don't shift for validation. Here's the most controversial truth. Stop acting like she's the prize. You are. This isn't about ego or disrespect. It's about balance. Too many men believe that if they can just win her over, prove they're good enough, keep her happy at all costs, they've succeeded in life. But the moment you adopt this mindset, you put yourself below her. From that position, you can't lead, attract, or build a healthy relationship. You are the prize when you've built yourself up. When you're emotionally strong, driven, with vision and discipline, when you walk away from disrespect and know who you are without needing anyone else to define you, that man is rare. Rare things are valuable. Valuable things don't beg, they choose. This isn't about bashing women. It's about waking men up from the lie that love means losing yourself. Real love requires two strong individuals. If one of you is weak, needy, and unsure, it will always be you who suffers. So here's your call to action. Stop living like you're lucky to get a woman's time. Step into your full potential and she'll feel lucky to be chosen. Stop chasing and start choosing. Stop begging and start building. Stop following her moods and start leading with your values. When you move like a man with power, purpose, and peace, you don't chase, you attract. The right woman will recognize your worth because you recognized it first. That's the shift that changes everything.